Let me preface this by reminding you I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a guy with well-used knees who's coached a lot of athletes with well-used knees. If you have a serious injury or severe tendinopathy, go see a professional. Don't sit around and wait for your tendinitis to get worse. Start taking care of it the day you notice it. Prevention is always best, but immediate correction will save you a lot of time, pain, and lost training. Following is my protocol for clearing up early tendinitis. Note that the longer you've let it go and the more severe it is, the longer and more drastic treatment will be required, up to and including complete rest, which is exactly what we're trying to avoid by immediately handling the problem. The first step when you start feeling the old knees is to figure out what changed. You didn't have tendinitis before, so why now? Did you jump into way too much training volume and/or intensity too quickly? Did you add unfamiliar exercises you're not conditioned for, especially jump training? Did you change the way you're squatting or switch shoes? Temporarily eliminate or reduce whatever it is you determine to be the cause, and once you're healed, reintroduce it at a more gradual rate that prevents recurrence. I don't understand lifters being shocked by painful joints when they do little to no warming up. Who could have seen that coming? Specific to the knees, spend a few minutes on a bike first with easy resistance, just getting a lot of blood flowing, and yes, literally warm the knees up. Next, get on the foam roller and go to town on your quads, especially along the midline. 10 to 20 passes should be plenty. Run through a good dynamic warm-up with plenty of leg swings to lengthen the quads and hip flexors, knee circles, and throw in some unloaded squats for good measure. The idea is pretty simple. Get the knees moving and warm and loosen up all the tissues that pull on the joint. In my experience, tightness in the rectus femoris, the quad muscle that runs down the midline of the thigh and crosses both the knee and hip, is responsible for a lot of this kind of knee pain in weightlifters, so it deserves extra attention. Stretch the quads and hip flexors before and after training, but also in between sets in your workout. Probably the biggest help for tendinitis in my experience is slow eccentrics. They encourage healing and strengthening of the tendon well beyond what regular strength work can. In more severe cases of tendinitis, a more extensive protocol is usually necessary, but for our purposes, some leg extension negatives should be adequate. Do 3 sets of 10 reps with a 5 to 6 second eccentric 3 days a week at the end of your workout. Use a weight that's moderately challenging by the end of the sets, but don't try to blow yourself out here. We're trying to stimulate healing, not create a limp. It's also a good idea to throw in 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps of hamstring curls 2 to 3 days a week. Both exercises should be done unilaterally, either on a machine, which is preferred, or with a band. Cross-friction massage the painful area of the tendon daily for 3 to 5 minutes. Use one or both thumbs to apply moderate pressure and simply move back and forth against the tendon perpendicularly to the direction of the fibers. Do a few courses daily of 1 to 2 minutes of cold and 2 to 4 minutes of heat with either cold and hot water or ice and heat packs to get as much blood flow through the tissue as possible and magnify the body's inherent healing mechanisms. Finally, quit taking NSAIDs. No more eating ibuprofen like Tic Tacs. If the pain is so excruciating that you can't live without anti-inflammatories, you need legitimate medical intervention and a serious change in your training. Reserve this stuff for brief periods of time when you really can't change your training, or you need to get through an important competition and the pain without it is going to limit what you can lift physically or mentally. Greg Everett with Catalyst Athletics here. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. If you have questions, post them in the comments. I answer all of them. Also check out catalystathletics.com for the biggest Olympic weightlifting exercise library out there, along with hundreds of free articles and videos and other resources for both athletes and coaches.